So for men, does body count matter? Like, I'm saying as like, you know, we're all adults and stuff like that. Like personally, me, I don't ask body count. I don't want to know nothing.
Because women don't care, men care.
About your past. I don't want to know nothing about what you did.
Women actually like a guy who's more experienced. If they had to pick between a guy with no experience versus a guy with lots of experience, they pick the guy with lots of experience.
I don't want
That's just fact.
to know, like, at all. Like, don't tell me shit. Like, I'd rather just go blind wolf and find out.
Well, Sterling, you guys got this one. I just went on a rant, so you guys go ahead.
I'll go first, Roland. I'll go first. Even if I wanted to know what your body count is, you're never going to tell me.
Facts.
Facts.
So
there's
no
always
way
a set number.
Even the woman is agreeing to that.
No way I can actually.
That they inherently know that their body count matters. That's why they lie about it, and that's why they lie about their age, because they know that their value is associated with their age and then their body count.
Actually know for real.
And that it's in the context of dating and in the sexual marketplace, not their value as a person.
Your body count is, right?
Oh, no.
However,
I know sluts who are fine people. Like, they're okay. They're not bad people. They're decent human beings, but they would make terrible girlfriends and terrible wives.
So that's why we use like other social cues as an indicator of your body count. Like I said before.
Like if she hugs the bouncer at the club, or if she knows a lot of guys. Red flags, bro. Especially if she hugs the bouncer at the club, or if whatever bar or club she goes to, the bartender knows her. She's for the fucking streets, bro.
Or how flaky are you?
Okay.
How respectful are you of my time? How loyal are you after I've had sex with you? Do you stick around? Do you you know, respect my time after the fact? Are you flaunting your ass on Instagram after the fact? Like, are you replying to dudes in your DMs after we've smashed? There's like things we can look for.
And for those who don't know, Sterling Cooper is a porn star, so he has lots of experience with women.
Or as a guy that tell us if I can take you seriously or not.
Right.
I personally feel like men,
Shirt the stores. I feel like shirt the stores.
I feel like merch.
They always start with "I feel like," because women are emotionally driven creatures. Nothing wrong with that. Men and women are just different. But that's why they say "I feel like," and they say more than men do. Men generally say "I think" or "I believe."
Vibing next.
I feel like men, for men that they care about body count. I personally do, because I feel like a woman like they could get with a man that has 100+ body count and they don't care. They're like, whatever, an experienced man. And I've heard that from multiple women. They're like, whatever, experienced man, whatever. I don't
Exactly what I said in the beginning of this video, and this is the first time I'm seeing this clip.
care, blah blah blah. But a man, like, you tell them like, yeah, I have like 15 people. What the fuck? You got 15 people? You've been ran through, you've been this, you've been
If it's more than 0, it's too many.
that. And I really feel like that's not fair for women. Like,
Nothing in life is fair, sweetheart. It's not fair when you get to go in the club for free, even though you're kind of average looking, but even though I'm an exceptional individual, I still have to pay to get in the club, even if I pulled up in a Lambo, unless I know somebody or I bribe the bouncer. If it's a high-end club, this bitch can probably get in for free, but I still have to pay. Men have to pay, and then we have to pay for drinks, we have to pay for tables. Women generally, when they go to clubs and bars, generally speaking, they never pay for a drink. It's always some guy footing the bill, and that's just fact. That's not fair. Is that fair? No. Is it fair that women have more scholarship programs than men? No. Is it fair that there's more men in prison than women? No. But we men, we don't sit around and complain. We don't care about fairness. We care about winning. We're very, very competitive. And this is where men and women are different.
men.
And so since we're very competitive, we don't want a woman who's been ran through who tons of other guys have had. Nobody wants the village bicycle, because if everybody has it, you don't want it anymore. That's why a Lambo is coveted, because not a lot of people have Lambos. If everybody had a Lambo, it wouldn't have any value. Guys want a woman who's hot, who ideally no one has had, but worst case only a few people have had. And that's just how we think. And before you tell me that that's incorrect way of thinking, if you're a female, know that men and women don't think the same way. We're chemically very, very different. Not saying one's better than the other. We're just different. and some YouTube bot is gonna ban me for saying that, if that's the case, so be it. I'm not gonna censor myself. I already had 2-3 streams taken down for no reason, and they say it's spam or deceptive content, even though I'm just stating facts, things that people inherently know but are too afraid to say.
Men can do whatever, and women like are devalued automatically.
Devalued. That's not even a word. It's devalued. These bitches use words that they don't even know. That's how arrogant they've become.
And I feel like it's because of, you know, by
No
the
wonder
fact
they
that
say the
we
nonsense
are
they say.
penetrated and not,
It's
you know,
facts.
men like.
You get fucked. We don't get fucked. You're the one who gets a dick inside you.
Well, life isn't fair. Just
Life
that way.
is clearly, as a woman, it's not fair.
But like, you're trying to compare apples and oranges.
Yep.
We're different. Like,
Way
I don't have some of the advantages in life that you have, and you don't,
Fair.
and you have some of these advantages I have. I'm stronger than you,
Okay.
but I don't have
Prove it.
your beauty, right? You can get.
That's for damn sure.
You can. Hey, fuck you.
And rightly
I'm
so.
professionally sexy, you bastard. I can't. Like, you can get certain things as a young, attractive woman that I cannot get.
It's a conquest for men to
Is
get
that too?
women,
That
so
too.
it's like a prize. But for us to get men, like, you can go outside and find anybody today.
You
so-
getting a woman getting sex is like a man lifting up a stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's a
Like-
heavy rock. All right, done, easy.
So that's why like a man's body count is like a source of pride
We
for
have
them.
to work for it.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
they hold it very, like.
We play. I think Myron Gaines says that we play a game on. We play the game of life on hard mode, and women play it on easy mode.
But for women, it's like you can't really brag about that. It's like someone with high metabolism being skinny.
But these women do brag about it, bro. I hear some of these chicks brag about their body counts. They really think like men now. They think that it's something to be proud of, when their body counts are very, very easily acquired.
Yeah.
You're like,
They just had to open their legs and go, boom, okay, fuck me, and done. But most men, unless you're Future or Drake or The Weeknd, you can't really do that.
okay, and
Like
it's
a
kind of
skinny guy having abs.
Genetics.
yeah, you're just like, yeah.
Rello?
Men and women are different. I don't know if you've noticed
I know,
that.
super controversial.
But this is the
Whoa,
probably one of
mind
the most
blown.
common questions you field here, and
Yeah,
I
on
feel
this
on my
podcast,
channel,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
probably
That's why I
feel
want
on
you
your
guys to
channel
answer
as
instead
well.
of us. We talk about this almost every show.
Men and women are different, and it's time we stop looking at the reason why you think it's not fair. The reason why you think it's not fair is because somewhere along the line, probably when you were much younger and probably how old are you now? 20, so obviously. Somewhere along the line, whether it was through popular culture, through your learning process, through music, through whatever, it's you've come to the conclusion that men and women are blank slate equals. That they should, like, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. So if men can go out and have sex as much as they want, then women should be able to go out and do that too. And the problem is men and women are not blank slate equals. They are different individual, different physically, different neurologically, different psychologically.
We broke this down on our podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I talked all about
in detail.
this on-
Studies are
yes,
there.
Yeah, go
ahead,
check
Rollo,
it out.
Sorry.
So, so for men and women, part of those differences is mating strategy. So for women, they tend to be looking for quality. Men tend to be looking for quantity, because it makes more sense, evolutionarily speaking, for men to be able to hit it and quit it, ejaculate and evacuate, get out of there as fast as possible, because in our evolutionary past, that was our best breeding strategy. Women's mating strategy is hypergamy, okay? Alpha fucks, beta bucks, okay? For men, it is unlimited access to unlimited sexuality, because the more children we get with every ejaculate, we can potentially mate with hundreds and thousands of women, really, if you could do that.
Yep.
And so for men tend to be what's called R-selected, meaning that they breed in number, like they spread the seed, right? For women, you can't do that.
Women are
because you've only got
K-selected.
one cell
Men are
that gets
R-selected.
fertilized, and you
That's
have the
awesome.
higher
Those are
investment
biological terms, by the way.
cost when it comes to reproduction. So you're going to spend 9 months knocked up with a baby, and then you're going to,
But biology is sexist now. It's toxic.
at least in our evolutionary past, speaking wise, you're going to spend at least 7 or 8 years raising that child from complete helplessness to being able to put food in its mouth, right? So to self-sufficiency before you can have a brother or a sister. Now, usually it happens like 4 years or something, like now, because we have modern medicine and convenience, but that used to be the way it was. Women have a higher threshold for finding the guy who's quality, who's going to exhibit being like very good looking, arousing, the guy you really want to bang, but he's also got to be the guy that has the 3 P's: protection, provisioning, and parental investment. He has to be the guy that's going to stick around and protect you while you're pregnant, because women are the vulnerable.
But that's been replaced with the welfare state, where women now know that even if they don't have a man around, they're going to get the taxpayers' money regardless, and other men's money, basically. Men don't even have children most of the times. So they know that whether or not they make good decisions, they're covered. Whether it's the man paying for the kids, the father, or the taxpayers.
Sex. And the reason why they're the vulnerable sex is because they have the higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. So 9 months knocked up, I need my money, I need my child support payments, I need you to help me with the pregnancy, that kind of stuff. That's the parental investment side for this century anyways. So for men, it's R selection. For women, it's K selection, meaning they're looking for quality. They're looking for somebody who's going to stick around. They're going to put investment into that pregnancy, and hopefully that's the way it's going to work. Now, today in modern times, finding that in the same guy is next to impossible. So that's why cuckoldry comes in, where you can have sex with the hot guy in the foam cannon party. You can get the hot alpha guy, get alpha seed, beta need, right? You mate with one guy, breed with that guy, and then convince the beta.
Get the sugar daddy to pay you $1,000 a month.
You tell it,
pay your rent.
Again, what is it? Chris Rock says, who tells the bigger lies? Women. It's your baby. Yeah, that's and why is that
1 in 3? Or was it 1 in? Was it 1 in 4? Sorry, 1 in 4. Or maybe it was 1 in 5. They did this study in the UK. 1 in 5, let's just be conservative. 1 in 5 fathers are raising children that are not biologically theirs, and they don't know. And that's a pretty big number. 1 in 5. Or maybe 1 in 4. I'm not exactly sure, so let's just say 1 in 5. Because I'm an optimist. 1 in 5 men are unknowingly raising another man's kid. DNA tests, guys. Get those DNA tests. And if your girl has a problem with it, you already know what's up.
Joke. Well, we laugh at that because that's the truth of it. Is that makes sense. It has to be, I need that support. Because it's that vulnerability. It's not that you're thinking of that when you see the hot guy in the club and you go, man, I really want to fuck that guy. It's not about. You're not thinking, oh, I want to reproduce with him and have children, and you're not thinking that far ahead. Yeah. That's the proximate cause versus the ultimate cause. The proximate cause is the hot guy in the club that you really want to get with. The ultimate cause is you're going to have his kid, Yep. And so what are you going to do with?
We're all driven by our biology one way or the other, whether we realize it or not. And just like men have a nature, women have a nature. And that's all these shows are doing, is explaining it to the average person in a way that makes sense.
That with that kid once you have him. So the investment is always in your head, whether you're thinking of it or not. Most women and most guys aren't thinking of it either. It's not a conscious cognitive process. It's just you come to it, you cross that bridge when you get to it, sort of thing. So there's the investment costs that go into reproduction. So when we're looking at guys who want to be the guy who's going to stick around, it's they're trading off their mating strategy to accommodate your mating strategy. So why is pornography such a big deal? Why do we have online 4K streaming free pornography right here? I can go get it right now if I want to. Why is it free for me to go and do that? Because it's unlimited access to unlimited sexuality when it comes to pornography. That's what that's catering to. Mm-hmm. So when my strategy is I want to get with as many chicks as I can, but I can't because I'm going to have babies with you and till death do us part, and forsaking all others in sickness and in health, and rich or poor, or all the marriage vows. If I'm going to promise that means what I'm doing is I'm sacrificing my mating strategy of unlimited access to unlimited. I could get with a lot of girls, but you're special and I really love you and I really want to have babies with you and we're going to have a life together and you do all that great stuff. I'm sacrificing my mating strategy to accommodate and to consolidate and optimize yours. The only stipulation is, well, you still got to bang me, right? Because I still want to have sex, and if I'm giving up, my mating strategy, I got to have that. But the most important stipulation, the kid has to be my fucking kid. Bam. And that's why
there's a kicker. That's why your value lowers, ladies, when you have sex with a lot of dudes.
And again, it goes back to the jealousy thing. It goes back to the mate guarding thing. Men have to historically, evolutionarily speaking, have always had to invest themselves and be obsessive compulsive about paternity. So when women say, oh, a real man takes care of other men's kids, no,
this is a new modern day concept. Never before was it accepted, even in the West, and in other countries it's still looked down upon. The guys look like a fool. Looks like a fool when guys do that. All the guys I've seen who are raising other men's kids, especially if you don't have a kid with the woman and you're just raising other children, you're just raising another man's kid with some single mom just so you can get some puss. Those guys are always like the weakest, most pathetic looking dudes. They just look like complete soy boys.
Convention that
could be exceptions, as there's exceptions to everything, but most of the time that's been my observation.
That's meant to satisfy that optimization, because the guy she had sex with and bred with, is not the guy who's sticking around. So we've got to convince all these 80%ers, we got to convince all these beta males to think they're heroes and they're white knights and they're superheroes. Step up to I'm the dad who stepped up. I'm not the stepdad, right?
Yeah.
So that's the popular meme. That's the popular social convention to get those guys to optimize to the alphas you had sex with that you're having the babies. He's still sticking to his sexual strategy and nailing other chicks.
There fucking
it's
new bitches,
the beta cuck, the blue pill guy that says, okay, baby, I'll be happy to step in and I'll help you take care of the kids. And suddenly he's the noble soul for having done that.
Yep.
And that's part of
the trick. It's a trick.
That's part of the mating mechanics of what we have right now.
But don't fall for that trick, guys. The whole purpose of raising children is to further your own genetic code into the world. At a very base biological level, that's what we're driven to do as men. And they're trying to take that away. They're trying to tell you that adopting a kid is the same, or worse, raising another man's kid is somehow noble and something we should aspire to do. Fuck that, bro. I'm not paying bills or changing diapers for a kid that ain't mine. Straight up.
But for me to accommodate and to optimize
kids are a lot of work.
Woman's mating strategy, I have to sacrifice my own. That's what I call the cardinal rule of mating strategies. For one sex to optimize their mating strategy, the other one has to compromise or abandon it.
Bam.
So when, like today, it's usually abandonment for men.
Yep.
Like men have to say, okay, forget it. I'm just going to stick with this one girl because that's their only option.
Yep.
They're not a porn star, man. They can't go and knock it out with a whole bunch of girls. So what they do is they fixate.
Most men live the lives of quiet depression. Most men live the lives of quiet depression.
Say, okay, monogamy. This is my best shot at reproducing.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if I got to take care of some other guy's kid, the chances are that somewhere along the line, she's going to have my kid too. And it becomes the new form of a mating strategy for beta males. So that's why when women say, well, you're a superhero for knocking it out with a bunch of guys. Yeah, because he's sticking to his mating strategy and not accommodating your mating strategy, while at the same time, when women are, slut shamed or they you're loose for that. The reason it's not that you're loose or you're slut, it's you're a bad bet for paternity.
Yeah.
You're a bad bet for me saying that might not be my kid. And even if we have DNA testing and everything else, my evolutionary psychology, my lizard brain, my hindbrain still says, yeah, she's the town bicycle, and everybody gets a shot at it right there. And I don't know that if the kid's going to be mine or it's not going to be mine, even if that's not the cognitive thing that you're thinking. It's what your hindbrain is thinking.
Damn. Somebody clip that, please.
Yeah,
And up until DNA tests, the only way to ensure paternity as a father was that your wife's a virgin. That was the only way.
Probably one of the best explanations.
And it's so drilled into us in our evolution. You're not going to get rid of it with feminism or saying that it should not be so. You can't wish away biology.
Of why men can have sex with a lot of girls.
And a lot of these beta males that he's talking about, they've compromised or abandoned their what's best for them because they don't feel like they can do any better. A lot of these guys think that a single mom is the best they can do. It's quite sad.
Girls and women can have sex with a lot of dudes.
I had a cousin of mine my cousin of mine, he recently moved here from Pakistan. Excuse me. I always sneeze in fours. It's not because I didn't take this. It's not that. But I had a cousin of mine recently land from Pakistan 2 days ago. He was telling me about how he's noticing like very average or overweight women with some okay looking guys or even decent looking guys. And I'm telling him that's because the game is fucked up. These bitches are completely delusional. And most of these bitches out here think like these women. And so the game is becoming harder and harder, especially if you're an average or even slightly above average man. It's just not enough, man. You got to get your game up. You got to get your fitness up. You got to get your money up. You got to check all the boxes. So that way you're not stuck with a single mom who's your only option and end up raising some other man's kid.
At least
well
when it comes
said.
to like
Well, and then the other
biology.
The other part of that is that men can separate their emotions from the sex act, whereas women, because of their mating strategy, have to invest emotions in that guy. You're going to stick around, right? You're going to
Exactly, and they have to like the man or respect him at some level to fuck with a guy. But men can fuck women we even hate or dislike or find annoying. We'll still fuck them.
you're going to be there for me. You're going to.
Most men will fuck anything over a 4. I personally wouldn't fuck anything less than a 6 on a slow Tuesday. You know, shit happens. But most men out here, man, they'll fuck anything 4 and up.
You're gonna be there right now.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna argue with me and say, well, it's no, today women are less repressed. They're more sexually open. They got OnlyFans. They can do this. Yeah, but right up until about 1965, when hormonal birth control got invented, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And so now we're kind of like, for the last 60
pushing back
years,
the clock a bit.
for the last 60 years, all bets are off. Hypergamy is unfettered right now, and here we are, 2021, and this is the result of it.
He is the author of The Rational Male, guys.
There you
Get
go.
the book. And
Subscribe to the channel, like the video.